Welcome to MAT 170, Digital Illustration. I'm Greg Kelly, and I'll be your host for this class, where we will study the design and composition of vector artwork for print publishing and multimedia graphics using Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator uses vector graphics, and vector graphics is the use of points, lines, curves, shapes, or polygons, which are all based on mathematical equations. And those are used to represent images in computer graphics, as well as print publishing. Here we are in the home page of Canvas. This is where you will land when you enter our virtual classroom. You may want to read a bit about vector graphics and their origins. They actually go back several hundred years, as you will learn in class. Also, this is where the recent announcements for the class will appear. I send out announcements on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. These announcements are emailed to you, but I do sometimes put videos in them which do not appear in the email. So you may want to have a look at the announcements when you enter the class, even if you've read them from your email. Let's have a look at Canvas and the various menu items. Here we are in the course syllabus, and that's me, Greg Kelly. My email address is here. Don't hesitate to send me an email if you have any questions about anything. You may want to have a look at my faculty website, where I have information about some of the other classes I teach, as well as information on various aspects of graphic design, typography. I also include some current news and events happening in the world of graphic design, and also competitions that you may be interested in entering. Also, be sure to have a look at the Media Arts and Technologies website. It has a great deal of information about degrees, certificates, courses, and the faculty, the various facilities we have, and even a showcase of student work. So when emailing me, please be sure to include the class name MAT 170 as well as the number in the subject line, and I will respond to all emails as soon as possible. This is a 3-unit, 16-week class in which students will study the design and composition of vector artwork for print publishing and multimedia graphics using Adobe Illustrator. And students will learn to create vector graphics such as logos, product promotion, and packaging for commercial use. You'll learn effective typography, create unique brushes, and so on. Now, the objectives for this course are a number of objectives. I really would like students to develop and refine their own visual style while learning the concepts of skills and vector graphics. There is a list here of things that you will be learning in class, the objectives for this class. It may look like a lot, but it's really not. And I know that if you work through the lessons and keep up with the assignments, that you will be able to do every one of these objectives. Here are our learning outcomes, and these are what you're going to be able to do after you take this class. First, you'll be able to apply vector graphic tools and design techniques to generate output that can be utilized for personal and commercial media arts use. And that's known as the technical competency for this class. So those are the skills, the tools of Adobe Illustrator that you will be able to complete. You'll also assemble multiple images into stylized digital representations, and that's the artistic form objective. And then you'll also learn to plan, prepare, and design vector graphic artwork that incorporates a message in conjunction with artistic and technical elements. And that's known as professional presentation. And I know that, again, if you follow along in class, complete all the assignments, that you will be able to do all three of those outcomes. In this class, I use project-based assignments so that you learn to search for information, make decisions, and solve problems. And I think that this method allows for a variety of learning styles and helps you develop confidence in your abilities in class. I will maintain regular effective contact and interaction with students through weekly prepared electronic lectures and so on, emails, discussion boards, etc. The required reading for this class is Adobe Illustrator CC Classroom in a Book, the 2019 release. However, you don't need to buy the book if you don't want to, because the textbook for this class is available free of charge through the MiraCosta Library database. Click that link and that will take you right to it. You may have to enter your CERF ID and password if you're off campus to access that, but there is our textbook. And it contains all of the chapters and so on. So if you don't want to buy the book, you don't really have to, because it is available in the library database. I give you some instructions on how to get there. However, in each week's assignment module, I provide a link to each chapter in the textbook along with a zip folder of the lesson files, which you can download and follow along. I also provide video tutorials of each chapter in the textbook. But again, the textbook is available free of charge through the MiraCosta Library database. I've included some other books for recommended reading if you'd like, some other books on design as well as Illustrator. This class does require the most current version of Adobe Illustrator. There will be some assignments from the textbook that you may not be able to complete if you don't have the current version of Illustrator. Now, the grades for this class consist of various types. You'll have a discussion board post pretty much every week, which have to do with the 4 main projects to help you stay on task and on schedule, help you understand what those projects entail. There are also skill builders. These are like mini projects. There are 8 of them, and they are due every 2 weeks. And they reflect the skills and techniques that you're learning in the textbook. Also, there are 4 main design projects, which are worth 150 points total. And I post assignments each Monday, and they are due on Sunday of that week. Here's our schedule. The first few weeks we will be covering quite a few chapters to get started. Although after that you can see that we're basically just covering 1 chapter each week. Be sure to read about attendance in this classroom. Online courses allow students, of course, to complete assignments and participate in work wherever they may have an internet connection and which is convenient to them. However, students who do not attend class at least once in any 7 consecutive day period, I'll send out a little warning to check to make sure that you're still in class. And if you know that you'll be offline for a week or more, do let me know and we can make arrangements for you to turn in assignments later. Do be sure to let me know if you have any special academic needs or adjustments or accommodations, do speak with me and the Disabled Students Program and Services, and we'll do what we can to ensure that you are accommodated. Here are some of the important dates throughout the semester. One important date is September 3rd, that's census date, and on that date I am required by law to drop any inactive students. And if I drop you for inactivity, I will not readmit you. And then the final day of the semester is December 14th, and that will be the last day to submit any assignments. There is also a printed syllabus you can print up. There's a PDF there if you'd like. Also, here's a summary of our course and the various assignments and when they are due. So there's a little overview of the class syllabus. Do be sure to take some time to read this in depth so that you clearly understand the objectives and the outcomes. Let's have a look at some of the other menu items in our Canvas classroom. The modules menu item is where you'll find all of your assignments, your weekly assignments. Just click those links and those will take you into that week's assignment. Also, our discussion board is where you'll post your weekly discussions, which again have to do with the main projects. I've also included a troubleshooting forum. If you have any questions about the assignments or maybe you're having difficulty with a tool or technique in Illustrator, just post those there and I'll answer those questions. Here's a link to the main projects that we'll be working on in class this semester. Just click those links and that will give you the details of each project. You might want to have a look at those before we actually get started on them to see what we'll be doing this semester. You may want to have a look at the resources page. These are various Illustrator resources that I've gathered for you. Things like magazines and forums, other Illustrator tutorials, Illustrator downloads and plugins, links to various sites on typography, also links to sites with mostly free fonts, some stock vector images, and a variety of books on various topics that you may be interested in, not only on Adobe Illustrator, but also other topics like logo design, principles of graphic design, and even elements of typography and so on. So you may be interested in some of those books. Also, you can access your grades from here. So that's a brief overview of our class. I really enjoy working with Adobe Illustrator, and I think you will too at the end of this class. And I'm really looking forward to a fun and exciting class.